Hello. Today we are drinking 108 from Mandala Tea. It's a ripe puerh. Um, right now it's $35 for a 100-gram cake, so 35 cents a gram. So a little bit, you know, per gram is a little bit on the pricey side. Already have it in the teapot. And this is the Yixing teapot that I use for my ripe puerh. It's about 110 milliliters. Nice little teapot. So I'm going to use about 7 grams of tea for this. And it's called 108 because it's from 108-year-old trees. 120-year-old trees. This is a 2020 tea. So it's 2 years and it's from 2019 picking. I have my notes over here. Smells good. Alright, good. So we're just gonna do a couple rinse. With puerh, I always rinse. With the other teas, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Just depends on how I'm feeling. With ripe, I rinse twice for, 2 flash rinses, maybe 5-10 seconds. With raw, I will rinse one time and just have a little longer rinse. Okay. Our little elephant. We'll get all the rinse. Okay. And so the first one is going to be about 10 seconds. My only issue with this teapot, it's a little bit bigger than I think is good for solo. So it is a lot of tea to drink, especially if you're doing, 8, 9, 10 sessions. So with 2 rinse in about 10 seconds, this is, it's still pretty light. The next one will be a lot darker. Always give them the first taste. If you ever have ripe, you're going to learn that it has most of it, unless it's flavored or, with something like rice, most of it's going to have a mossy, ground, dirty smell and aroma. It's hot. The first infusion, always the weakest, of course, until you get to like 8 or 9. I've found about, depending on the tea, but 2 through 5, 2 through 6 is usually where it really gets to shine. Yeah, right now it's just It's very weak. I guess I could have done a longer steep, but I just like to do my 10 seconds. My subsequent ones will be a lot longer, 15, 20 seconds. Hot, very hot. Mandala Tea does a lot of small tea cakes. A lot of their tea cakes are 100 grams. And I think the largest ones is going to be 200 grams. Like I said, I have a notes right here. The one that their only 2023 cake they have for sale right now is a, let's see, is a 100-gram cake. Yeah, they do a lot of 100 grams. Which is okay. I have this from them. I have the China Cat. I have Truth. It's very good tea. And I have a couple samples of things. I don't know if I have any raws. Actually, looking at it, oh, 7 Steps. Yep, I have one raw, which is another 100-gram cake. 7 Steps is actually a really good tea. It's one of the better raws I have, actually. A lot of the young raws you'll find, you know, that they're astringent, they're bitter. And you know, that doesn't, you know, they don't stop that, of course. But I don't know. Maybe they found a little bit better tea for that one. I'm not exactly sure which one it is, but it's good. I'm getting my timer up so I can actually time it this time. Okay. So with this teapot, I like to have at least 2 people if I could, but a lot of times it's just me drinking. I see this a lot darker. You look at that, that's what you'd like to see right there. Let it cool down for a minute. And while it cools down, the most recent book, one of the most recent books that I did finish was The Night Parade by Ronald Malfi. I listened to that one on Audible. They have, if you are in their little subscription thing, they have certain books for free, and that was one of them. Basically what that one is about is a guy named David and his daughter Ellie, I think. They're running from these doctors, these scientists, because what's going on in the world right now is they have this big virus that's killing a lot of people. And Ellie, she's immune to it, just like her mom was. You know, back in 2020 when COVID was big, or in 2021, you know, you would see all these comparisons to The Stand. This book I thought was a lot closer to COVID than The Stand was, because, you know, The Stand just wiped out everybody, like 98% of the people. This one is it's killing people, but it's not as bad. But so David is on the run with his daughter, because, you know, the doctors, the scientists, they want to, you know, test on her to see why she's immune. And then he's running away, trying to go somewhere to make her safe. Very good book. I liked it. I thought it was you know, very very solid. I would definitely read it if I were you, or listen to it if you have Audible. I've listened to one more Ronald Malfi book. Um, it's the most recent one that came out. I can't think of it right now. But it had a lot of it elements. Stephen King's It. It's very smooth. There's no wet pile taste. A lot of people think wet pile taste is kind of like a fishy smell, fishy taste. There's none of that. I don't I don't see any you know big notes popping out to me. In their notes, they say it has a chocolatey, which I guess I could see that. But I don't get any strawberries or stuff like that. It's just very. It's gonna not sound good, but it's a dirt taste, a mossy, floor taste. But it's good. It's a good tea. And good thing about Mandala Tea or Mandala is they're stateside. So if you're in the United States, you can get it relatively quick. Um, like I said, per gram, 35 cents is a little pricey, but $35 isn't terrible for a solid tea. Like I said, it's 100 grams tea cake, and depending on what you use, some people do 5 or whatever. You can get a lot of sessions out of this. I've been drinking this for 2 years now, and I probably already had like 6 or 7 sessions out of it. Maybe not that many, but this is what the dry leaves look like. I try, again, it just depends on how big my vessel is, but I try to do the whole 1 gram per 15 milliliters. That's part of the reason why I try to get smaller vessels. And I just don't want to drink that much tea, honestly. I don't want to have I see some of these Yixing pots, they're like 200 milliliters. Like, man, it's a lot of tea, especially if we're doing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sessions. That's good. It's very good. It's very smooth. It's I don't know if I would say it's entry level, because I don't really know what that would mean for tea, but it's very easygoing. Good thing with ripe, you can't really mess it up, from what I've seen at least. You can't oversteep it. You can't, I guess if you don't use hot enough water. I always do 100 degrees Celsius. During work, I grab a little tea ball of ripe, throw it in my thermos, and throw water in it. I'm just drinking it all day. So it's steeping for hours, 8 hours a day. Then I fill it up with some more water, but a lot of times it's steeping, all day. So it's not something that you can really mess up. I think ripe is a little bit more new people friendly than raw is. You gotta get a high quality ripe. You can't get some of this stuff from like Amazon, or not necessarily Amazon's bad, but just the cheap stuff, because it's gonna have that fishy taste. It's gonna have that, it's gonna not be good, and you don't want to have a nasty ripe, because I've had some nasty ripes. And let me tell you, they're not good. One type of ripe a lot of people do like is I think they call it sticky rice ripe, where I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how they make it, but they infused it with something that kind of tastes like rice. I'm not too big a fan of it, but that's a lot of people's entryway into ripe, because it's, it's not like, dirt. It's not a dirty tea taste. I'm gonna try this one, then I'll go. I'm trying not to make these too long, but man, 16 minutes goes by quick. In perfect world, I'll try to make this under 10 minutes, but I don't know if I can. Not in the beginning. I might start coming in at steep 2 or 3, and then just drink for like 5-10 minutes, and then go from there. But we'll see. But yeah, good tea. Go to Mandela's. They're good tea people. They're very nice too. They write you nice notes, and they're very active on Instagram too if you are into that sort of thing. But cool. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.